Welcome to The Circle, where we tap into the journey of life, spirituality, and wellness. We are the BoujAunties.
Hey, girl.
Hey!
It's spring.
It is spring.
Finally.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that cold this year. It was. You're still Trinidad, dude. The look of disbelief. Okay, it was cold, but it wasn't bitter. Okay, it was bitter.
Okay.
It was bitter.
It wasn't long.
It wasn't long.
Right.
It was a very odd year when it comes to winter, but I still love a summer feeling.
I do.
And when I woke up this morning and I realized the weather wasn't as harsh, it was nice.
It was nice.
And we're outside in the Garden Hills.
Yes, we are.
Outside.
We are outside. We outside.
So today we're talking about spring and new growth and
all the things that come along with new growth.
And wood energy.
Yes.
Yeah. And so in traditional Chinese medicine, there's the earth. It's earth, wood.
It's earth, water, wood, metal, air. Right, and fire.
Can't forget fire.
Right.
Yeah. So
I think air is. Do we
say air?
We don't say air.
No.
Actually, air is isn't it like a supplementary of one of the elements?
It's earth. Wood. It's earth energy.
Right.
It is
wood. It is fire
and metal.
There's
one
right.
more that it could be air.
Water.
Yes. Oh, how are we gonna forget water?
Hello, that's the first concept we learned in school.
Yes.
Water,
yes,
earth, metal.
Yes. You know, you're living it. You're not thinking of the words. But wood energy is you start thinking of a seed in the ground and how it is germinating. Mm-hmm. You don't see it.
Right.
You don't know what's happening.
Right.
But there's so much going on.
Yeah. It's just your
so
faith
much
along with the stuff that you're gonna do, right? That makes it burst through.
And there's so much going on. Right. That you can't see and you know that you have to have the faith. Yeah. You put the seed in and cover it, water it, and keep it moving.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But that's life. But then it's forcing its way up. And so that spring energy is up and out, right? So what we're feeling now is all of that energy of just like, yes.
Well, are you feeling that energy today?
I am.
I woke up this
I was in anticipation.
Me too.
Me
too. I really was, and I was in so much anticipation that I posted something this morning. It was an old picture along with some new ones. Every spring I like to post, a picture of myself, or of something that represents the beauty and the new burst of spring. And I wrote just a little excerpt, and it was something about just expecting or letting flow of the new bursting of wombs,
Ooh.
Yeah.
But that letting part.
Yes.
Right? It's like when you aren't trying to control anything.
Yeah.
And allowing nature to run its course.
Yeah.
That is vulnerability at its best.
Yeah.
Because you really don't have control of anything anyway.
You don't.
But when you really sit in it and go, okay, I'm gonna step back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna release.
Yeah.
Just leaning back into that.
Yeah.
To me, that's nature. Right?
It is.
Because I was walking down Tompkins. Actually, I was walking down Madison, and I was seeing little buds coming out of the trees, and I was like, oh, snap.
Yes, that's how you know, right?
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago when people were talking about, spring is here, I was like, no,
cold.
it's not. Relax.
It was cold.
Relax. It's just,
it's the sunshine. I need a sign.
Okay, yeah. And I think that's one thing I like about spring. Spring is that season that tells us that we could trust Earth.
Just sit in that.
Yeah,
sit in that.
Like we could trust Earth more than anything else.
Yeah.
That's definite. Because in spring you're sure to see. Anybody could tell you that it's spring.
Yeah.
But unless you look to nature and you don't see that sprout,
the evidence.
Yes.
The evidence.
Yeah.
Could you consider your life like in the seasons? Like I feel like I'm in the springtime of my life right now.
Really?
I do. I feel like there's been a lot of planting of seeds and a lot of quietly cultivating and praying and hoping for things to kind of come up, and
Yeah.
it has been
Yeah.
right in my life. Look at the rearing of my children, watching them sprout into their lives now.
Yeah.
I look at my relationships, with my mother,
Yeah.
just where she is in her life and how we communicate differently.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing, even in my relationship with my lover, it's like we communicate differently,
Yeah.
right? And so it's, how do you look at your life in seasons? There's that time where you go, wait, am I blossoming?
Right.
I think I'm blossoming.
Yeah.
Right? And
Yeah.
how loudly do I want to blossom? I don't want to blossom loud now.
You want to
I do.
blossom loud?
I do. I want to be
love
loud.
it. I love it.
I think I've always moved from a space of not just humble.
Yeah.
Humble is always going to be, right?
Yeah.
But I think quiet.
Yeah.
Because I don't like to do too much talking about what I'm going to do
Right.
or how I'm going to do it,
Right.
or so forth, because I'm always so concentrated on, okay, what's the steps? What's the
Right.
steps, right? I think I'm getting into this rhythm in my life.
Yes.
where,
Yes.
okay,
I see that.
yeah, man, like
I
whatever
see
the
that.
steps are,
Yeah.
I'm in that rhythm.
Yes.
And I'm trusting the rhythm.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And
To,
so,
to
yeah.
actually, make it happen.
Not make it happen.
Right.
It just
flow.
happening.
Ah!
It's just happening. It's
I
that
love
duality.
it.
It's
I
just that
love
duality.
it.
So when my expectations of what it should look like,
Yeah.
or what it should feel like, it doesn't happen,
Right.
I'm not bugging out. I'm not going, oh God, this is so bad. I'm just like, oh, this is
Right.
another process, another opportunity to experience it.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
So what element is that? Is that your water, like kind of complementing your wood kind of thing? Because
I
it
think
sounds
so.
like a
There's
very
a balance going on.
good balance
Yeah, there's
of
definitely a
watering
balance. Mhm.
and just letting it grow, happening.
I think it's stepping out of that earth energy space, the part where it's deficient, because my earth energy makes me spiral and worry. I'm always like, okay, what am I doing? What's the next thing? What am I doing? What's the next thing? How am I supposed to do
Yeah.
this, right? And now it doesn't feel like that. It's like, that doesn't serve me.
Yeah.
It just doesn't, right?
Right.
That going back and forth,
Right.
in a circle and not moving in a direction.
Right.
And notice I didn't say moving forward.
Right.
Because it's not always about moving forward,
Yeah.
right? But it's not moving in any direction.
Right.
Right now, I just feel like it's up and out.
Right.
And it's
Right.
gonna spread. The leaves are gonna come. The
Right.
branches. I'm touching. I'm moving.
Yeah.
I'm feeling experiences with others that it's very tantalizing.
Really.
It is, because I don't know what.
Tantalizing.
Yeah, I don't know what to
like that
expect.
word.
It is tantalizing and titillating. And titillating.
Oh my God, I like that
Listen.
word. I like that word. It's
You know,
spicy.
It is spicy, and
Yeah.
it's we need a little spice in our life. We do.
It keeps things, it keeps things tasty and it keeps you coming back, I guess. It keeps you interested. Yes.
Especially I love this color scheme you have going on.
So purple is my favorite color.
Every color is your favorite color. Every color. I've never seen you not go. And this, I'm like, that is your favorite color too, huh? Okay. Color.
I like all the colors now, but purple is my favorite color. But this was so easy to slip on this morning, and I like it because it's kind of mod looking,
Mhm.
So I was like, yeah, I could do the New York streets in this today, perk up my energy a little bit, because right?
Mhm.
And
How does color work for you with that?
color is one of the things that saved my life, my wardrobe and color,
How so?
because it just does something to the frequency of my energy.
Mm.
So it's calming for me. It's either it adds flavor and excitement, so it lifts me up.
Yeah.
It's either when I'm being chic, I tend to use very demure looking colors,
Mhm.
like more earthy tones, and for some reason, like when I'm feeling really sensual, I love black.
As we see.
Right?
As we see. I think sensuality and spring go hand in hand.
It does.
Because it's birth, right?
Yes, it
Like
is.
there's
Yes,
some
it
sort
is.
of sexual energy that
Yes.
permeates the possibility of creativity.
Yes.
Right? So, yes, sexual energy, like the penetration, I'm using all those words and not necessarily thinking about
No,
the
about
act
the act
of
itself.
sex.
No.
And yes,
No.
including that too.
Yeah.
But it's
it's not focused.
How do you create without that kind of like
right that passion? Yes, you know,
like I think the tap in for me for that energy to be able to use it is to recognize it and not stigmatize it as some bad thing. Right? Or
because it's not really.
How could it ever be? That's how I got here. Like somebody got hot and had sex and I came into this world. I was very clear that my parents were very happy to see me, but it was because of a culmination of a few moments.
Things that make them feel good.
And tapping into that. Spring energy is about moving into what makes you feel good. That coming out of the dormant stage. You know, we've been cloaked up. The windows have been closed a little bit. And just like this morning, I just flung the blinds open.
Let me tell you, when I saw that sun. So last night, something piqued my interest. The fact that I didn't see the moon last night, and we were in an Aries moon last night. Right? And it was so interesting to me. And, you know, I don't know about all these conspiracy theories that they have going on. We'll call them that for now.
But what they are.
Whatever they are, you know. But
I don't have to own those things.
Right, we don't. We really don't. You know, they could be thoughts, our own thoughts. We don't even have to own them, you know, as long as we recognize this and, you know, we could discuss them. But one of the things I think my sister and I were discussing, we were like, okay, now it's really the new year. Right?
It is.
When you think about it, it's really the new year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yes, love. Yes. That's it.
But for some reason,
but explain that.
The fact that we couldn't see the moon, that it's really the new year, and the moon that we would be looking at, which is the Aries moon, in terms of astrology, is so powerful in terms of manifestation.
Come now, talk about it.
You understand?
Talk about it.
And the fact that we could not see that moon last night, I was like, powers that be, what are you doing? You know, like, are they on to something? You know, do they know where the power of the people lie?
Also, you know, there's a few things that, speaking about the moon and not being able to see it just yet. You know, the moon is a very sensuous experience in the sky. And when it wants to reveal itself, it will. And it doesn't always, you know, she doesn't always just come out and just say, look at me. It's like, seek me out. Look for me. Expect me. And that kind of energy I think about for my own self. Like, I don't know many times where I've had experiences where it was just like, I liked when things were just thrown at me. I like kind of searching through and, you know, peeking through the clouds a bit and exploring and seeing, because that creates some ownership for me. You know, to me, that's what manifestation is. It's really delving in deep. Moving some things around, putting some things down, picking some things up to kind of create the thing that you want, but allowing it to happen.
The whole putting together process.
Isn't Ramadan starting soon?
Ramadan is starting soon.
It's like they're waiting to see the moon.
And that's what we're waiting for also, you know?
All the cultures.
Parents, all the cultures. You know?
There's a connectivity.
And I love that. You know, I love the layering of how nature coincides with things that people believe. You know, so it goes back again to nature. We can trust her.
I mean, we better. Even with all the things that's happening and all the things that humanity has done, we can still trust nature. We can still trust nature to go in its flow. It'll find its pattern. I am excited about a couple of things that I've been dealing with myself. I'm writing a book. Said it out loud. Oh my God. And so we're in a project right now of going through all of the photos that we've had over the years of just opening up Life Wellness and even before. And it's making me look at all the things that I've experienced. And in each moment of those experiences, I was questioning. I was like, is this the right thing? Should I be doing this? What is this? And now to be able to look back at a small body of work, a small body of time, and to go, oh, this was just flow. And so when I'm thinking of spring, the spring of my life, the spring of the season, it's all about flow. I don't have no idea how this garden is going to look this year. I don't know what's coming up or what's going to not come back. but I do know something's gonna happen.
Right.
And I'm excited about that, and I have expectancy of greatness.
Right.
However that manifests.
Right.
How's that showing up for you in your relationships? Just that expectancy of greatness.
The expectancy of greatness. I think what's getting me is the word expectancy.
I know. I said it on purpose.
Yeah. You know, I'm not in a place where I'm expecting anymore.
Right.
You know?
The management.
Yeah. Because it's too much responsibility.
Did you expect when you were 19, 20, 21, 22? Did you have expectancy then?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't even healthy expectancy.
Oh, the pressure.
Right.
The pressure was real.
It was, it's so crazy because now expectancy is a word that shifts you into that whole arena of programming and agreements. Yes, agreements that you set yourself up by. You know, and I use that word because of the book that we're reading, the 4 Agreements. Mm-hmm. And that,
your sister.
We're reading that on our podcast. And it makes it so clear in how we really do box ourselves in.
We do.
And expectancy and expectations, you know, is one of the ways by which we kind of sabotage ourselves sometimes.
Oh my God. And then when you start expecting things, that wood energy of spring is also anger.
Yeah.
Talk about it. Listen.
I don't know if you knew, but I was going through that the other day.
If I didn't know. Friend. We were here with you. Okay. Lovingly supporting you as you went through your process. And we're so happy that you've gone through it. That's why you know family.
I know.
We're just like, okay.
I know. I think one day, like when I came in and I sat down and I was like, and you were like, okay.
But that's real though.
And I saw my grandmother in your face for some reason. Like, oh, okay, people. Like she
give her room.
Like just give her a little bit of
space. Let she feel what she needs to feel.
I know.
Because anger is also a great emotion to feel. I mean, we try to say, let's push it away and oh no, I'm not above anger.
Right.
I'm not above expressing anger.
Right.
But
yes,
if it's not done in a healthy way, it could be so destructive.
It can. You know, and that's one of the spaces that you don't want to be in either.
But you find yourself
you know, but you do.
Yeah,
you do. And not only that, I think chaos energy is something that we shouldn't be afraid of. You know, people trying to
always The fans.
Where if it made me money, that would be good.
You know, money is interesting.
I know it is. But you know, currency. It's
currency.
You know, good energy.
Talk about it.
Yeah, but chaos energy, especially when it comes to us as women. You know, it's also that part of, I think, fire mixed with wood energy that ignites a certain thing in us. You know, it's a very cleansing energy also. I don't think that people recognize it or affiliate it with that attribute, you know, of cleansing. But sometimes chaos helps us to really reach a point to where it forces us to let go. We have to destroy. We have to clear out. We have to
force, destroy, clear.
You know,
those are really power words.
Yeah.
If those words are not managed, right, they can become destructive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I think the management comes from a long time coming, right?
Yeah.
When we talk about, or we talk to our nieces and nephews, right, and people come in and they speak about feeling overwhelmed, or they don't like their job, or they're in a relationship with someone that doesn't feel, you know, right, and you just want to just dust it and be like, yo, you know, F this, I'm out, right? That also is a response, but there's also other versions of it where if you can manage these expectancies of what you think this other human being or this other situation is supposed to become, then it doesn't have to be destructive. It's transformative,
Yeah.
right? And so, yes, we're actually burning sage, some West African incense, and some rose petals right now on the charcoal. But if we don't manage this and look at it, it can become so smoky.
Exactly.
It could be almost choking and caustic.
Right.
So to me, spring energy really forces you to pay attention.
Yes, it does.
Inward. To experience this thing that's happening outward.
Right.
So when you create those experiences inward, you can be surrounded by people who love you, who support you,
right,
who can say, they're on their shit today, and it's okay.
Right.
Because you're in a solid relationship that you are allowed to feel all your stuff, and you don't even have to express what those things are because you're in a safe space.
Right.
We know when you move from that space, you can come back and go, I was going through some things, and we could just
like
we know, because you're allowed. That's the knowing that you planted your seed in good soil.
Right.
And
it's not even the thing of being allowed, because I think it's human to actually have those things. But what I like is there's a difference between allowance and being supported by, being supported in a way where it's not an allowance, but it's a freedom, but it's a managed kind of freedom.
I think, and I remember hearing like my older cousins, growing up in Guyana, I would hear things like, allow me now, just allow me, right? Like allow me to just be, give me some space, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't mean go away, it doesn't mean I don't need you, I just need in this moment, I need to feel my shit.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And I think that's the allowing I'm talking about.
Okay,
like,
right.
You have space, I have space
right,
to be. And to experience the discomfort of coming through this earth, because it's always like a rebirth that's happening, and it's not easy, and so sometimes you need the space to awkwardly adjust yourself and figure out what's happening or why you're feeling what you're feeling, and it doesn't look good or organized or that you're gonna say the brightest of good mornings. Sometimes you're getting grand rising. Grand rising. Right? And you gotta know that people will not be like, oh, damn, I'm not fucking with her no more. Right? You just be like, everything's not alright. Okay. When you're ready, we'll be here.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. And it's really nice.
I feel great that I have that. That I've created that circle.
It's really nice. I really do appreciate that in, our work and leisure family, that we do have that, and that we even have a balance of having a work and leisure family. You know what I'm saying? That like we really want to hang out with each other, so that's all lending to the greenness of what it is we cultivate as being in the same space.
In your lived experience, I mean, just pick a time where, and you don't have to give details, names, whatever. Everyone's story is safe. But can you tell a story about a time where that didn't exist and you realized, I need to make this happen. I need to create a better circle for myself.
Where was that? I'm trying to remember. Wow. I can't even remember that because I think I've always been surrounded by people that I love.
Oh, that's powerful.
I've always been, even people who weren't necessarily good for me, they still had a love for me. They still didn't want to see harm come to me. But
interesting.
Yeah, but I'm trying to remember.
I distinctly remember being, I think I was probably maybe 21, 22.
Yeah.
And walking into a situation and looking around and going, this place doesn't serve me anymore.
Oh yes, of course. Now
you know I say it that way.
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
Mm.
Cause
Yeah. Mm. Yeah.
yeah. But it's good that other that other little pockets of experiences that I have had with people who I've been around, kind of outshine.
Shine that.
Yeah,
That's what
that.
it is.
Yeah.
But I'm saying,
So it's
but
like
if
what?
you will hone
But
into
yes,
that.
yes, I can. Yes, I can. I can remember. Yeah, I was in a situation one time where the chaos energy, where it actually lit intentionally, with intention, the chaos energy in me. Where I was very destructive, but I was destructive to the person who was the one igniting the chaos. It kind of backfired on them, kind of thing. So
you're saying it wasn't destructive to you?
I wasn't destructive to myself. As a matter of fact, that energy made me get up and out. Yeah.
The whole
yeah.
What energy?
Yes. And it's so crazy because I think it was a spring time where I experienced the whole up and out, the whole up and outward movement.
Yeah.
So but yes. You've I've been in situations where it's like, oh no, like
so that's external, right? And I can remember very distinct moments where I looked up and said, oh, I no longer fit here. Right?
Yeah.
Like, I can't, whatever is happening in this story, one specific time, I was working at this job. So I'm at work, I'm sitting at my desk, and my boss, like, I'm so quote unquote with those, because leadership is responsibility.
Yeah.
So my boss walks over and he kind of just threw something on the table, and I was like, don't throw things on my desk, right?
Yeah.
And he goes, I mean, you got to finish this. And I was like, no, I don't, right?
I love that.
I don't, right? I don't have to do anything.
Right.
I mean, this is part of, the responsibility, but in the way that we are interacting, I don't have to do anything.
Right.
But this was like a pile up of like months of felt like I wasn't being seen, that I wasn't being respected, that I was being, like, my sense of self was being forced to be put down.
Yeah.
And it was choking me. And I remember just going, I quit. Bye. I remember leaving and walking out of the building and coming downstairs. I was working near Grand Central Station and going, friend, you ain't got no money. Rent is due, right? And what are you doing, right? But it was something that was it was uncontrollable. Like there was like this fire inside of me. It was even get up and leave that or violently react.
Yeah.
And it wasn't anything. It was just someone put something in front of me. I felt disrespected once again, and I couldn't take that anymore. So I had to change that environment.
Right.
Now, to me, that made me be broke for the next 3 months.
Right.
And I had a small child, or two. I can't remember how many children I had at that time.
Right.
Right. But it was a bunch of people who were depending on me. And so if you look at things when it's really crazy and you allow it to just make you react, to me, that's the destruction.
Right.
I'm very, very slow to react.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I simmer.
Yeah.
I consider. I watch. Like the way that I've learned to manage this experience of this really raw energy that comes up is the respect of it, to know that it's coming. Right? And how do I manage it, not just blowing everything up?
Right.
And then I'm in a position of going, I told them, F this person or whatever.
Right.
But I'm seeing like all the trees have fallen, the building blown up, everything crazy, whatever.
Right.
To me, that becomes destructive for me.
Right.
And not changing the situation.
Yeah. And that's true. Because and I've called you, even with situations with employers. We've had and I'm like, oh no. I'm like, this is
I was allergic to bullshit.
Feeling a bit overwhelmed. It's like, okay.
I've always been allergic to bullshit. I'm like, you have to see me you have to see me because I see you. I don't give a damn who's signing the check.
Yeah, that's it.
You have to see me.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know, that's it. And I guess that's what spring energy is all about.
To be seen.
You know, to be seen. That's stand up energy.
Be seen in a way that it's not my expectancy, right?
Right.
I'm managing that.
Right.
But how I see me is more important than how others see me.
Right.
And so now I create these experiences that allow for my birth, my growth to come up, where it's not dependent on if a person respects me or not.
Right.
I can give two shits if people respect me, to be honest.
Right.
Because there's a bunch of people who are walking through who don't know anything about me.
Right.
Right? And I don't know anything about them. Yeah, so
you used to be like, what is that?
Yeah,
word?
what is it? It's like I'm asking you to consider my worth, and you have no lived experience of that.
Right.
Right? And I get upset when you don't.
Right.
What's more important is I consider my worth.
Right.
Because I have my lived experience.
Exactly.
And how I show up.
Right.
Will create and command how the environment.
That is so true.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's something. Were you finished?
I was gonna say this is why the seeds, when they come up, sometimes you plant 30 seeds, maybe 5 or 6 come up, because it's respecting where it wants to come. If it's not perfect, if it's not the right pH balance in the soil, if it's not the right sun coming down the water, then it's not coming.
That is so true.
Yeah.
That is so true.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing that you said that it's not coming. The other day I was having a discussion with a client. It was a couple of months ago, but it's a client that I see here at Life Wellness. Love her. And we were having a conversation one time, and we were talking about birthing. And the fact that she said, I don't think we see birthing as an experience where that, like you said, that seed that was planted, right?
Yeah.
In terms of it being an embryo, or even before it becomes that, or it comes into some sort of recognition of being born.
Yeah.
Before that, there's a grooming process that takes place by our ancestors before children are even thought of. So as much as a woman on earth is saying, oh my God, I want a child, I want a child, I want a child, but there is a moment
legacy.
of wait.
It's legacy.
Right?
Yes,
in that process between you saying or manifesting that into the universe, there is something beyond the ethers that is saying, okay, not yet.
Yes.
And imagine that that life is sitting with the ancestors, being groomed. You know, okay, this is what you may have to do. This
while
is why I'm sending
while
you.
You are being groomed.
Do you understand?
And
that's
yes,
you understand?
Yes, is the tap in.
When you think about birth like that, you know, it's like so wonderful. Like, oh my gosh, like really?
This.
Okay, this is a reason why I may not have what I have right now, because I don't know when it comes into my life what it is or how is it gonna fit. You know, am I going to be equipped to manage it?
Am I going to be equipped?
They are being groomed. So a lot of times when our children are given to us, you know, they're really an individual that's coming to really do what they have to do here, but they're just coming through you as really a vessel.
But not just your birth children that's coming out of your womb.
No.
Your idea children.
Yes.
Your manifesting children.
Yes.
Like when we say, oh, we're manifesting.
Yeah.
You know how much manifestation killed people because they wasn't ready?
Yeah.
Right? That they just, you turn around, you look at them, they're smoked out, they're stressed out, they're drinking, they're falling apart because they got exactly what they wanted.
Right.
But it was forced right.
That's it. They weren't equipped to manage it. You know,
there was force right.
Yeah,
like you have to allow things to germinate. Hang on this force right. I'm doing this.
Oh my God!
Exactly. But it's that force ripening.
Yeah.
It's the patience. It's the patience.
Yeah.
And patience is so hard, but that releasing and constant releasing of expectation.
Yeah.
Like just going, you know what? I know what I want.
Yeah.
I know what I want.
Yeah.
I know, oh God, you pray for it on your knees, you know, make a bowl, you go to church, you do all the things, you do everything, right? And you get it. But if you're not ready, look how fast it's gonna flip.
It's true. It's true.
Look how you're gonna suddenly think the very thing that you wanted, the very relationship, the very financial situation, the lover, the whatever it is that you want.
Yeah.
You can get it and it becomes bitter.
Yeah.
Or heavy.
Right.
Or like, oh God.
Right.
Now I gotta, like, that space of allowing things to come up and out in its own time.
Yeah.
It gives you time.
Yes, to prepare, right?
For the child and the mother.
Yes.
To come together.
Yes.
For the energy and the foundation of physical manifestation to come together.
Yeah.
And that's spring.
That's spring.
That's spring.